Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, it's Tuesday's request day. Today's map was requested by the creator over on Twitter, which is at Edge of the Sofa if that's what you're looking for, or you can approach me via any of my Facebook groups or via the comments down below or via Patreon if you have an account. Oh, loads of options. But before we have a look at today's map, I want to let you know I've got a special show coming out tonight. You may or may not be aware that Biffa has started a 30-minute panic challenge, which is build as big a vanilla city as you can in just 30 minutes. And I've taken part in that challenge. So now's a very good time to hit that notification bell so as not to miss it. Also, there should be around here a like button. Where is it? Yeah, if you can find that like button somewhere around here, that would really support the channel. Thank you very much for your support. Today's map is Bayhill Plains Vanilla by hallegbg. Now, we have done hallegbg in the past, but we're looking at today's map. It looks a little bit fantastical, doesn't it? A little bit artsy. There's your start square, lots of flat build space, and of course, a couple of hints of coastline there as well. Very neat. Your terrain is, well, it's either flat or artsy hills, and none of them make any sense at all. We'll check those out later. Resources, the hills are all ore, which is going to make it a little bit fun getting into them. And then we've got a bit of fertile land dotted around and lots of anchovies in that there water. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, no DLC is required. And while it's Bayhill Plains Vanilla, we do have a recommendation for the Laviante 2.0 and Laviante LUT. That's the theme and the LUT of Laviante. If you want them, you can play this 100% vanilla. Of course, it makes no difference. And vanilla is a word that I get pulled up a lot on this channel. And I will talk more about that in a moment, just to try and explain things. I keep having to explain it. I'm going to have to explain it again, I guess. But we do have a very odd looking tunnel right here. Now, if you have a look here, we've got a bit of foliage growing over it, but look, it goes flat and then vertical. And we've got a little bit of rock on the line there as well. We will check that out a bit later on because it is very interesting. Well, moderately interesting. Interesting enough to make a thing out of, okay? Going down towards our first intersection, which is very clean and tidy. A clover leaf. And it's tidily decorated. Just about the right amount of detailing, I think, to make that an interesting thing. Yeah. So, yes, vanilla. When I say vanilla, because I often talk about vanilla rules, I'm not talking about actual vanilla, because if you use so much as one mod, it's no longer vanilla. Okay, I get that. I do understand that. But what I talk about when it's vanilla rules, is there are a lot of players out there who want to play the 9-tile map, 9-tile game, who wants to unlock, they don't want unlimited funds, who want to play the buy one tile at a time. And I kind of think of them as my core mechanic, right? If you are a mod, if you use a lot of mods, then you can ignore, if I say something and it doesn't make any sense to you because you can just, you're going to use a mod to ignore that. Just use the mod to ignore it. It's fine. I'm doing this for the players that don't have a clue, okay? And maybe have had the game for a month and this is their first map they're looking for. And there's a nice little plopped wishbone intersection. Plenty of things that we could say about this one, but we did it just a few shows ago, so I'm not going to do it again today. But yes, it's there's plenty of mods. If you want to ignore what I'm saying because you're going to use a mod, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But those people that don't use mods, this is the information that they are going to need. So there we are. Right, into the start square, which means only one thing. And that one thing is we've got an asset down there, and it's a biggie. It's a biggie, and it's a nice one, of course. It's Leroy Merlin by LordGruny, and it's like a garden, plants, and DIY, and that sort of thing. And it's from France, apparently. And factoids, because factoids, and it's quite a long one, so I'll hurry along. The famous mutiny on the Bounty, led by Fletcher Christian against the evil Captain Bligh, began on this day, the 28th of April, in 1789. The subsequent fortunes of the two main protagonists were fairly mixed. Fletcher Christian's idyll on the South Sea Islands, that he made his home, came to an end when he died 4 years later, while Bligh went on to become Vice Admiral and later Governor of New South Wales. So there we go, the mutiny on the Bounty began this day, 28th of April in 1789. I do believe that's the Pitcairn Islands they settled down on. It's one of the most remote parts of the world. Anyway, where are we? Leroy Merlin, like the water on there as well. It might have been dry for weeks, but still got water on the roof. Very neat. LordGruny. Top creator. Love pretty much all of their work. In fact, I love all of their work. I'm trying to say pretty much because I'm trying to think of one that I don't love. And I can't. So, love all of their work, okay? There might be one thing that I've not seen that I go, oh, I'm not so keen on that one. But he's probably, I'm not so keen on this show. You know, it's fine. We're all allowed opinions, and such is the opinion of Vanilla Rules. It's just a term that I use. I find it kind of sums it up, even though it's not strictly accurate. But what, basic player? I recall this for the basic player. I don't know so much about that either. The thing is, if I give you the baseline, and then if you are finding a way to ignore that because you use all of the mods, and let's face it, I use a lot of the mods myself, then it's absolutely fine. If I go about saying, yeah, use this mod, use that mod, there'll be players out there who don't want to use mods, and this show will be irrelevant to them. So pick and choose. Right, anyway, we got road networks to go across. I should be talking about the map, really. Yeah, they've got road networks that go across the map. They're nice and clean and tidy because it's nice and flat. And then we have the rail. The rail is an anomaly. We'll go with anomaly. I think that's a polite word. It's not a train wreck. Oh, see what I did there? It's not a train wreck, but it is an anomaly. Watch this one. So we've got great bits like here. We've got a nice straight line here. I'm not looking to see whether I don't think the foliage is encroaching onto the tanneries. Then we have everybody's favourite factory. And then as we go past everybody's favourite factory, we have this, which has got foliage all over it because of the plopped rocks, which have the foliage attached to them. So that's encroaching quite badly. Then we have a little bit of blue mantle through the glitching there. And then we have catenaries in the middle of the line also. And then the line continues. And there's more to come. That is not the most odd. Now, next thing we've got a little bit of a bridge that needs slightly drawing out. It's almost vertical, that ramp, isn't it? It's almost vertical. I'm exaggerating slightly, but you know what I mean. It's quite steep. And then we have a tunnel. And if you have a look here, the tunnel goes in quite elevated. It could be flattened out a lot. Where do you think that goes? The answer is right the way through. Comes out underneath this pretty little lake, and the lake is guarded by the Essential Lighthouse. Bizarre place to have it, but not the most bizarre lighthouse I've seen, so I quite like it. We'll let that one be. Then we've got a trident here, trident of rail, very nice as well. And that's kind of like the end of the route, which means intermission.
Are you worried that you aren't using all the best mods? And which ones best suit your needs anyway? Then you need the community voted top 10 mods of 2019. Click the information button now.
And so back to Bayhill Plains. Yeah, that top 10 mods is still relevant today. Pretty much the same list if I had to do it again today. We've got a spade there. I like to call a spade. It looks just like a spade. Maybe it's a shovel. That's more like a spike. Anyway, shipping routes. Yeah, we've got a spike there. A little bit of a jinky janky there and jinky janky back as well. Not a big problem. It's relatively smooth, don't mind that. Is that bridge high enough? I'm going to say yes. I don't think it is though. Jinky jankies left and right there and a dead end there. And of course the right angle turns as well, but it's all negligible stuff. Then we have here that bridge, I'm pretty sure is high enough. We've got some missing pillars there. We're not going to come back and check them, but you've seen them. Some missing pillars. And that one's more like a devil's tail. Very neat indeed. And then we have one more shipping route to follow as well. I think this is the main one that's sort of like you would follow. You've got a chevron. We've got it all. A spade, a devil's tail, and a chevron. And then a loop that goes around the island, but it's all jinky janky as well. A water flow. This is your start square. You've got a hint of water here and there, where you see on the screen now. And both of them are pretty static. There is a little bit of motion, but it's as good as static. And over here as well, just check that one out. Little arrow there as well. Tiny little bit of motion. Probably could do with a little bit more water movement there, unless of course you're playing with like the vanilla assets. Sorry, the custom assets. You know what I mean? I'll get the words out. Now let's have a look at these hills. Okay, Laviante theme does them proud, but while they're great hills, and I've got to say they are great hills. I love them. They are all very different and odd, and I don't mind these as a backdrop and then a big flat build plane, but they are really quite odd. I mean, that's been painted with the ore, so you get the different colour of the grass as well. Got a fan going on there, which is quite neat. I'm gonna say aesthetically, and they got this one. This looks completely different. This is more like a steampunk cloud, isn't it? I think that one. It's again very striking. Don't mind it. Would prefer it matched up with the others. Interesting little river network there. Again, I don't mind it at all. Just doesn't really match up for me. bit of a wrong turning going on there with the ship. That's fine. It's a bit of a chuckle. Now this rail we saw right at the start of the show, which goes almost vertical, that does actually go somewhere. Where do you think? I'll pull back. Give you a couple of. You might want to pause the video right about now. But I'm going to tell you that it actually comes out over here. Out of there. Now, why? Also, this is a bit steep going in here. It's a bit of a laugh, I guess. A bit of an Acanya style make a tunnel that goes bizarre. But I don't really get. I mean, there's bizarre and there's bizarre. And I'm not buying that at all. But thanks for the giggle. I'm going to say that's the worst thing on the map, but it might be deliberate. And it looks like it was deliberately done, probably to give me something to talk about. So I'm not going to come down like a ton of bricks on it, but I really don't buy it at all. We do have some ground trees here. Not too many, but just a few dotted under the surface there. But again, is it the world's biggest problem? Well, not really. Not really. And then we got a little. Now, this for me, this is kind of a BonBon Island, but I wouldn't live here. I would call it. I would use this as like a holiday home island. I quite like the idea of sitting on the beach, facing into the mainland, and waving at people. So I have this island, and you are all over there. Mwah. That would be. That's the nearest thing I can say to that. I don't like it, but I would holiday on it. So we'll go for that. Then we've got little patches of foliage here and there. It's the thing is the whole design of it. It seems very spasmodic. And got looking at the tunnel there as well. Yeah, it seems very spasmodic where you've got a batch of hills and a batch of trees, and it just doesn't quite fit together. Individually, all these sections are really very nice indeed. I think a little bit more time spent on the design, and we'll have another look at this. The rail comes over here as well, just see where that rail goes to. Yeah, a little bit more time spent on the design and just bringing the whole thing together, and I think we've got a good map. I think we've got I think we've got a very good map. Good map is an understatement. If all these little aspects all come together, but what we've just got is just a little a patchwork quilt of a map sort of thing, and it's playable, and it's not awful, and I don't hate it. And I know a lot of people are expecting me to say that I hate it. I don't hate it. Oh, and I love this little fantasy water network going on here as well. So just a bit of a giggle there. Anyway, what do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. What do I think? I don't know. I think it could be borderline. I'm going to say it won't be, but I think it could deserve to be. And I'm going to say that aesthetically, I actually don't hate this at all. I know a few of you will be marking this down massively because of its aesthetics. I don't hate it. I just don't think it comes together. I think it deserves 3 stars. I'm not turned off by it. I'm just not turned on by it. Detailing. Detailing is, on the whole, it's okay. There's a few bizarrities, 1 or 2 minor things that probably need to be fixed. But it's not so bad I can drop it to 2 stars. I'm going to go for a low 3. Low 3 for detail. Gameplay potential. Look, it's a playable map. There's plenty of build space. I'd like to see a bit more water motion in the start square. But again, though, I'm not really inspired. The map doesn't say to me, hey, you've got to play me. I'm a must play. It's not, but it's a map that is playable. So I'm going 3 stars there as well. 3s across the board for Bayhill Plains Vanilla by hallegbg. hallegbg. I'm not turned off by this map at all. I'm looking at it thinking this could be so much more not fun, just cohesive, and it just seems a little bit of a lot of a nothing. Does that make any sense at all? Probably not. Anyway, don't forget tonight. Don't forget tonight. I'm playing that 30 minutes panic challenge. You'll see how big a city I can build in 30 minutes. I've set myself a few targets, and let's see how well I can do. I've been BonBonB. You've been very, very welcome, and I'll see you very, very soon.